On air. Welcome back to session number two of this show. Here, your host Uros the Whip. I am going to be narrating this. On my right side or my left, I don't know how I actually do, is Joe, the professor himself. This time in his winter coat. He is going to be doing the cloud code magic. And on my this side here is Lori. Lori, the wonderful, pretty face of today, and she's gonna be supporting us from the behind, and she's gonna be doing the admin stuff. Lori, also feel free to jump in if you have any questions. If Joe is not sharing the screen, please remind him like he knows to do. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the session two. Just to recap, so previous session, what we did is we started working on a VAPI voice agents. We made one through UI, but it got deleted, so we like made one fast, and we just tested that one. But on in parallel, what we were doing is we were creating a cloud code skill for VAPI. So I think what we're gonna do today is just gonna continue that cloud code path and see how where it takes us. Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe.
see where it takes us. Yeah, so let me share the good old screen here. Do. And let me actually show you guys kind of where we left off. So we're using VAPI, as Urosh said, and we created this professor bot, which we screwed up. It still has this old prompt, which is something we're going to change. It's like some prompt for some wellness partners. And the point of it is to help us schedule calls. The idea being like if you have people's phone numbers, maybe you can have a bot reach out to them, and all that bot's job is to help, get you leads essentially to book a call with you. We gave it a tool. So if we come into tools here, you see we gave it this calendar manager tool, and we kind of cheated here because we're using a platform called N8N. And all we did is they have this amazing MCP trigger node that you can just easily hook up tools to. You can see we have a create an event calendar and get many calendar events. So the idea here, right, is we want to give it these two tools to be able to search your calendar and then create an event. The problem, which was probably because we were using a stupider model, is that it came up with an appointment in like 2021, which is not helpful. I was like, I'm pretty sure I have like an event that time that you scheduled for. So, I think we're definitely going to find there's a little bit of unreliability as we're building these things. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just as a reminder too from last time, we're going to use something called a GitHub code space, and I'm hosting this code on GitHub where you typically host your, your code. And so the nice thing about GitHub code space is A, they're free, at least up to a point, and B, you don't have to deal with like any of the environment stuff, like downloading Python or Linux or all these different things. It's going to work for you like out of the box, which is super amazing. So from last time, one of the things I did is I grabbed what's called an environment variable. I'm not going to open this because that's what's going to contain all of our passwords. And so what I did is in VAPI, there is this, let me figure out where the key is. I think it's this one, right? You have things called API keys, right? Which is your password essentially to connect with VAPI outside of VAPI. So I grabbed our key so that we can then use it in the code and just have Claude be the one interacting with VAPI directly. How we're going to do that is through these skills, which I was actually reading these skills and they're not great, but we're going to test them out. That's kind of the point, right? It's like, is this thing actually going to work and how do we improve it? And all a skill really is like a list. It's a folder of files, but some of those files are essentially just mini prompts, right? Teaching the model how to leverage the technology we're using. So if we come into this skill.md, which is like the first file that the LM is going to see, you can see that it's essentially just explaining it. Like, this is what you do. You're managing the VAPI voice REST API. This is how you do the API key. Don't hard code or log the API key, right, in the commands. We don't want that exposing anything. And then we have, just kind of the structure of the calls and how it makes them. So first thing we're going to do is let's ignore the text, and I'm just going to bring up Claude Code. It should still be saved. Let's see what happens. I hope I don't have to
Joe, what did we
re-download it.
learn last time? So dangerously skip permissions, please.
Ah, you're right. You're right. Well, it seems frozen right now anyway. So let's see if it
Can you
starts up.
can
I
you
don't know
reshare
what
your
this is
screen
doing here.
so we are visible, all of us, on the side? Is that possible?
You just got to change the on the side panel, Lori, if you want to change to one of the different views.
I did, and it's showing us, but Joe, it's not showing your screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me just share from
Reshare?
here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah,
Excellent.
now?
Thank you, Joe. Yep, perfect.
I mean, it's a shame to space this pretty face to be in the background.
And Joe, is it possible to make it a little bigger?
Yeah, 1 second. Although at some point it's going to be too big, so let's see what happens here. So we're going to do Claude. What is it? Dangerously skip.
I still not have it as a hotkey somewhere.
I mean, no, I'm on a code space, so I don't have any of
true.
my normal stuff in here. Okay, so all I'm going to say is let's test connecting with the VAPI, or let's test connecting to VAPI with your skill. So on the back end, you obviously don't see this, but because of the way it's structured over here, Claude is always looking in this .claude folder, and then it's looking in this skills folder, and all it sees to start, so it doesn't load everything at once, is this part up here. This is called front matter, and all it sees is it has a skill called VAPI, and this is what this skill does. So it doesn't have to load everything at once. It just loads everything that it needs. So let's see. What did it say here? The VAPI key environment variable is not set. It is set. It's in the .env. Trust me. Let's see what happens. / maybe it got deleted since I last came in here. Key is loaded. This is what we call a hallucination, right? Okay, so now it's just running some code, right? Because again, it just read this file, so it knows how to interact with it. Let's see. The API returned 41 unauthorized with hint. You may have a public key. Aha. So I actually grabbed the wrong API key. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen just for a second here and grab the correct API key and switch it out. So just one second.
I mean, it's just dots, it's okay.
Okay.
So, PSA, public service announcement from me. I have been scolded by security teams many times. So make sure that you have your .env file always there, your git ignore to have .env file in it, and always, if you're cloud coding and whatever you're using, use either our trusty pack framework. We're gonna share that in the chat, or use something that says do not share any credentials. And yeah, trust me.
Yes, we have learned that the hard way. Okay, but I do want to point out how helpful this was, right? It's like I didn't know which key I was supposed to use, right? And it returned an error, and Claude read that error, and then it was like, okay, you got to go do the actual thing. Aha, connection successful. And you can see we have the 2 agents, right, that we're interested in messing with. This was the one that comes with every VAPI account. And then we have the professor one we were talking about. So I don't know, Uros, what do you think I should prompt this with? What should we do?
So what APIs did you give it? So can it actually tweak
everything? It can do everything.
Nice. So let's first work on tweaking the professor to be up to our standards. So hey,
be up to our standards. The purpose of it should be to call potential leads we've identified and just try to get them to book an appointment with me, Joe, the CEO of Synaptic Labs.
Fancy titles everywhere.
To talk about education or integration work from our AI agency. feel free to research our website, synapticlabs.ai. Okay, so this might take a minute. I've given it a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, first it's going to research.
Yeah, while it's doing that, can you explain us a little bit about what the skills are? So like, if I understood correctly, it's kind of a fixed script that... Are you here? You kind of disappeared. Joe?
His screen is here. We've lost Joe. Oh, now Joe's.
Did your
Oh,
cloud code skill do something to you?
Okay,
You're
I
back?
think I'm back. I don't know why I created a screen. There we go. Sorry, guys.
you were gone for a moment, Joe.
Yep, but I heard you guys. For some reason, it turned me off. So I don't know.
Okay,
Uros, what were you
Joe.
talking about?
Yeah, so I was like, hey, like, because just give us the quick rundown what the skills are, like how they are different than like just like writing a script to do this, like, or how they're different than MCPs, like what do they do?
Yeah, so a skill, all it again is like a folder of like files. And so those files can be anything like a markdown file, which again is just an explanation. So in this case, right, this skill.md, all it is telling it how to interact with the VAPI API and everything that it can do. Now, probably, again, this is actually not how I would normally write a skill, and we should definitely make this better. But this is one way to do it, right? It's just like essentially a really long prompt. Like, I don't know how many lines is this, 258 lines, just explaining how do you use this API. And then we have a couple other things like a configuration pipeline and some recommendations of models it should use and all that kind of stuff. But it can really be anything you want to stick in a folder. Okay, it looks like we're having issues with the API key again. So I might have to, here's what I found. Okay, try your original script to see if it works.
Does it make a difference between the API keys for different types of actions?
Yeah, maybe it needs the public. This list envoy is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need both. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so let's create a public key and a private key, and I'll fill that out. Okay, let me again, sorry guys, I'm gonna toss you off my my screen here for a minute while I grab these keys. That's so, why have two different keys? I wonder why. Okay, so VAPI, we're gonna do public, or no, this was the private one, private API key, and then VAPI public API key. Okay.
You're not sharing, Joe. Oh, yeah,
Yes,
you are.
on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
That is correct. Okay, so okay, I just added the two different keys. Try. So, you know, anyone listening here, this is like 90% of doing this stuff. It's like nothing works. You have to just keep like pounding your head against a wall until it does work.
But as the time progresses, like with anything, any AI skill that you obtain, you get better of figuring out what types of things you need to think beforehand, and then you get better at tailoring the stuff. So like, yeah, it gets better over time. Neither key works with the get by ID.
Did I not name it correctly? Pretty sure I did.
Huh?
Okay, I guess I got to try to a fresh key.
Oh my god! Why doesn't it like you? Your keys are not good.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna get and add a new key and call Synaptic.
David is here. Hi, David.
Voice agent. Allowed origins. Do I need? Okay, I don't want to do that. Allowed assistance. Transient. Okay. Sorry, I know you guys can't see the screen right now, but I'm adding the private API key, and then we're going to create a public API key. Copy assistant public. Copy. Okay, for the love of God. Hopefully this works now. 1 second.
David says you cannot hear me. David, knowing you for this long, I think it's better that we cannot hear you.
Wow, shots fired. Haha, success. Private key works. Oh my God, this is wild. Yeah, slash maybe do some research.
Yeah, I think it's him, not you anymore.
Docs are on. Yeah, what did you do correctly? What did we have wrong in the docs? So this is queuing up responses. So right now it's like thinking and like writing some stuff in the background. But one nice thing about Claude Code is that you can just keep tossing stuff at it. And then when it kind of finishes its next step, it's going to get these two messages. So you can kind of redirect it and steer it. And then you can see it says press up to edit the queued messages. So you can bring them back into the editor right here if you want. Yep, so it ran the workspaces, Synaptic Voice Agent. It was right. Let me research the API docs.
Yeah. Tell him, like, Claude, it's you, it's not us. unless there's, are we paying for it? Is this like a free tier?
Free tier of VAPI?
Yeah.
It is a free tier of VAPI. So I wonder, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you don't get access to the... It's getting tons of errors too. Like it's not able to read the website. This one it got. I wonder if this is even a website. Let's go to it. Like, did it just hallucinate this? Oops.
What is that? Keragon.
Yeah. Thank you for your detailed response. Enabled and active. I mean, there's no way to like turn this thing on, it doesn't look like. Okay. Here's the issue. Neither of your keys follow the PPK live, so keys might be swapped. I don't think so. Here's what to check. Go to organization. Yeah.
Are you making maybe a API key that's not on a system level? Maybe that's like a project. Maybe you need like a higher level of the API key.
I didn't see any other options. I mean, let me see.
So okay, where are you right now? This is...
It's just like literally the API keys section here. Like,
Public,
I don't
private,
see anything extra I can do.
Are there scopes to it when you're creating them?
No, I mean, it's just I can do allowed URLs, but
yeah,
I feel like if you leave that blank, it's
yeah, it should
fine.
be automatically. Yeah. It's like public cores, like, so if you just like put the asterisk logs, sure. So this is how it actually goes, guys. Like when you're actually making something, this is the what happens in the behind the scenes.
I mean, we've got
those
a
are all
bunch
your requests. Yeah.
That's so weird. Like
Hmm.
when I'm looking
I can check. Is what PPI
weird. When I look at the logs, I see a bunch of 200 calls. And I definitely put the right API keys in. I just generated them and updated them. Security is important, but it is a pain in the butt. Interesting.
Are your trial credits up that you got? Maybe that's.
The queue is fun. Really? You think so? I kind of doubt that. Maybe it took a second, maybe, but then why did the first ones fail? I don't know. Very suspect. Very suspect.
Demo. Davey, the cheerleader. It's
I
probably
think
that the APIs are incorrect. So like probably the documentation is not giving you the correct endpoints, and some are, some are not, and it's just like failing. What would happen if you just like instead of using the skill, would do the same with just regular Claude, like
What do you
not
mean?
forcing it to use the documentation in the skill, maybe just go through another instance, like hey, like go research and do this.
Um, Interesting. Okay, what do you have? The update went through. Jiggy error is just from code line. Actual response confirms. How are you doing today? The professor assistant is now fully updated with outbound. Okay, so it actually did go and change everything. Let's see what it did. Assistants, professor.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. That's different. You are Yep. You are professor. An outbound sales voice for Synaptic Labs and AI agency. Yeah, I mean, look, it changed everything. About
Yeah.
Synaptic Labs, right? It added all the stuff.
Joe, the CEO, personally handles consultations. Nice.
Because he believes in understanding each client's unique situation.
I'm so proud of you, Joe.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see here.
I
Can
would ask it
you
like what were we doing incorrectly in the beginning, so he can update the documentation.
update the docs, especially with this private vs public PI key? Okay, I'm gonna wonder, do we have Pact in here? So yeah, Pact isn't even downloaded in this environment anymore, which is fine. But that's probably why we're having all of our problems.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, while that's actually going, I'm gonna, do the fun thing. I'm gonna say I want you to review your VAPI skill and actually break it down into individual scripts that are CLI command focused for you to easily interact with the API. So my problem here is like you were kind of saying, Irish, it's just like a single skill file and a couple small things that's not actually helpful, and it's still a huge waste of context, right? Because it's like this is still a pretty big skill MD file and it has a lot of stuff in there, and then when it's calling it has to make all these like curl requests, which are like, again, not, A, token efficient, B, kind of messy. There's a lot of opportunity for things to not work correctly. So I wanted to literally just be like, edit, like a command that would look like edit assistant, right? And it could just do like professor, and it can just do like prompt, and then it just like types out the prompt over here, and it would just replace it, right? Like that's something like what we want, not this whole rigmarole. Oh, so this one's using Pact. I guess it is using it. That's so weird, or at least in this one. let's see, packed. No, it's not. That's so weird that none of the,
I think Claude is copying us. Yeah.
yes. Let me review the current VAPI skill. So it's using its Explore tool, essentially just going and reading everything that it needs to and forming an opinion about it. Let's switch over here. What's going on? Docs update. Here's a summary. Docs assumed a single API key. No source envying curl examples. No guidance on 401 errors. No explanation. What was updated? Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So can you update the model to be, let's say, OpenAI 5.2? Let's see if it's able to figure this one out with the tools it has.
Tell me this: when you're actually working with Claude Code, I'm usually always working in one terminal. So do you have like a multiple
Oh yeah,
sessions on your side?
I'm usually running like 2 to 3 terminals at a time.
in the same project?
Yes, but I use Git work trees. So for
like
those who don't know, a Git work tree is essentially you copy the entire code base into a .work trees folder. And that way it can just manipulate that single work tree, that part of the code base. So you can be doing multiple work trees at a time and they won't, interrupt each other. Like they won't overwrite each other or mess each other up. It does get a little bit messy in the end because you have to merge them all back together. But again, Claude's pretty good at doing that. We're getting this key error again. It's wild. Key is failing again. Looks like it may have been rotated. I haven't touched anything. Maybe.
So what I'm seeing in here is it is super tied to the skill actual documentation. I don't see it trying anything outside of the skill documentation to actually try to fix or like try some common patterns with the APIs. Like that's what it sounds to me.
Yeah, let me test. Something in the .env file caused to fail silently.
Is grep plus cut to extract the key directly works every time. Well,
real bug in our docs. Source env was silently failing, like another variable in the .env caused an error. Let me fix the docs. That's so weird.
it's probably because you're using not the VS Code but the
I don't think so. I wonder if it's because I have it get ignored or something, and so it's like not, if you use this way, it won't let it find it.
Yeah, because you're using Git and ignoring Git inside the is the Git
You
section.
always want to ignore your .env because otherwise you're pushing your API keys to. I didn't do dangerously skip permissions on this one. God damn it. Okay, now it's going to create all the scripts. So you see it created this scripts folder and created this common script, which is, this is just what we call the CLI. This is just going to give it all the commands that it can use. So it can easily, again, do that very quick little like hyphen command. And then, so it's just breaking these down. And you see it has all this, all these comments in here. So this almost acts as its own prompt inside this is the .sh, that's a bash script. It's just like a, primitive way to run a quick little script. So you don't need Python and you don't need JavaScript or whatever. It can just run on anything. But you can see it has the description of the different commands it can use. It can list the assistants. It can list in summary the assistants. It can get, which is just to read the assistant by the ID. It can create an assistant. It can update an assistant. It can delete an assistant. So it's just telling it what the commands are for that. And then an example, so it knows how to follow it. And then the actual code that's going to run when it actually uses these commands. So let's see what you're up to. All done. Here's the full picture of what was wrong, what fixed, root cause.
That's all before the scripts and all, yeah.
Did it update? Oh, interesting. It deleted a couple things wrong here. This is kind of fun. First of all, it got rid of the prompt.
No, I don't think it's the prompt. I think when you swap the models, I think it maybe resets the prompt. Can you type something in the prompt and just like change the model?
Well, I can change the model to like what it was. Well, here's another problem though. Look at this. It has Grok as the provider, but GPT 5.2 as the model, which is not correct. Like Grok does not have these models. So we have found a bug on Vappy. Let me see what happens when I update. Okay, interesting. So when I update the page, it does change it to the right thing, but it deleted our prompt. Let's see if I go to I think we had it on Communicate2. Yeah, that didn't bring back.
No, yeah.
So these are the dangers. This is a good point here. These are the dangers of doing these changes
CLI.
via these agents, right? Is like it just deleted that prompt, and in this case, it doesn't really matter, right? Like who cares? But if it's in a real scenario, you got to be careful. So let's see what happens. Actually, let's talk to it. So when I went back, it deleted prompt. Any idea what happened? Like, I wonder if by when it updates, it probably gave just the model and not a system prompt, and so maybe it
Or
just
it gave
assumed
it a preset or something like that. Like overwrite everything. Maybe it doesn't have the yeah.
without including the messages array. Vappy's patch replaces the entire model object. Yeah, so these are the things you got to learn by testing, guys. That's a pain though, because if you want to update other things and not the message, like you have to resend the full message. Let's ask. So if I just want you to change the
Temperature.
reading or temperature, you have to rewrite the entire object.
Sounds.
And for those who don't know, when I say object, all an object is like a complex, I guess, piece of data. So if we come to just do a quick little Excalibur here. So an object, right, might be you have, just a list of data. So let's say like name, email, I don't know, this large LLM preference, I don't know. So this would be an object, right? Because it contains multiple pieces of data. And if we're looking at this in terms of JSON, have our little squiggly brackets in here. But you can obviously make this even more, complex. So you can do something called an array. So maybe this is LLM preferences, and you can add a little square bracket here, and then we have a new list. Let's say, where it can be like Open AI,
Temperature.
Gemini.
Right.
Yeah, and then even then you can go down even further, right? Like you're saying, of like this then would have temperature, model name, whatever. So you can imagine it gets pretty complicated pretty quickly. But this is just an object versus if you just had something, right, which was, just name, right? That's not an object. That's just a single piece of data. Prompt is restored. That's a long prompt. To your question, yes. For nested objects like model, patch replaces the entire object. Oh my God. Okay, well, see, this is good though, because now we add this to our skill MD, right? So that it knows next time when it's writing something or updating something, it has to send the entire thing over. It can't just send the one.
Come on, Joe. Get to the point. We want to talk to the guy.
Yeah, you wanna talk to this guy? Okay,
I
so
think people are willing. They waited for so long. David is probably still here. David, you want to talk to the guy? Yeah.
well, I have a question about like, is there a way to add the current time here? I don't know, I can look that up later, but I guess we can try it out. I think I'm gonna have to reshare my screen. I don't know if I did the share. Just 1 second, guys. Stop sharing. I think I need to do the share audio. Okay. You ready?
Are you
what's
ready?
this? Missing provider fallbacks. Okay, that's fine.
Does he have the voice?
It should.
Hey, this is Professor from Synaptic Labs. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thanks. Appreciate you asking.
It doesn't sound
Hey,
like that.
I'll keep this quick. I'm reaching out because we've been working with businesses in your space on AI adoption, and I thought there might be a fit. Out of curiosity, are you guys using any AI tools right now, or is it more something you've just been thinking about?
Yes, we're using Claude Code and Vappy.
Oh, nice. Like you're definitely ahead of a lot of teams then. Cloud Code plus Vappy usually means you're already automating pieces of workflow and doing some voice of agent stuff. Yeah. When you think about what you've built so far, what's the main thing you're trying to improve next? Reliability, cost, speed to ship, or like expanding into more use cases?
We want our assistants to get to the point faster and try to schedule appointments on Vappy.
Got it. That makes sense. So really tightening up the conversations and getting to the booking faster. Are you finding that the assistant is talking too long before making the ask?
Yes.
Or is it more that it's not confidently moving towards scheduling?
You're doing both right now. You are the test.
Fair enough. I appreciate the honesty. Let me tighten this up. If your goal is to get assistants to the point faster and consistently book appointments, that's exactly the kind of optimization Joe helps with. Tightening prompts, restructuring flow, and improving conversion logic inside
Well, I'm
tools like
failing
Vappy.
right now because you still haven't asked me to find some time to book.
You're absolutely right, James. I appreciate the call out. Let's fix that. If your goal is to get your assistants to move
Okay,
faster
you can
and
close it now.
confidently book appointments inside Vappy, Joe would be a great person for you to talk to. He's hands-on with conversation
Yeah, ask
design
him to schedule a
and
meeting
AI
job.
optimization, not just
Can
strategy.
you actually use your tool right now to try to find and book a time with Joe?
I can't see Joe's live calendar directly, James, but I can lock in a time for you right now and have him send the invite over. What does your schedule look like this week?
Okay, I'm going to end call. I wonder if the tool
Was on Riley probably.
correctly.
Maybe it was on
Well,
Riley
I
and
don't-
not.
Oh, maybe because it overrode it when it was doing the changes.
Probably.
So
Tools?
Nope.
No?
It's the calendar manager.
Is your thingy on NA10 live?
Yeah, let me try one more time. Let me just do. I'll just try to skip the shenanigans.
Hey, this is Professor from Synaptic Labs. How are
Hey,
you doing
we're
today?
running a test right now. Can you find an open appointment for me to, or for you to schedule tomorrow at 10 a.m.?
Got it. So tomorrow at 10 a.m. Just to make sure I lock in the right slot. What's the best email for you? So Joe can send over the calendar invite.
Joseph@synapticlabs.ai.
Perfect, Joseph. I can put you down for tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Joe. He'll send a calendar invite to Joseph.
No.
at
Use your tools. Do you have any tools accessible to you?
Gotcha, Joseph. I don't actually have direct
I think
access
it's
to
OpenAI.
Joe's live calendar on my end.
Yeah, like I think it's the model that we switched. I think that may be the cause. Like with Kimi K2, like it was really working properly with tools.
I mean, I can try.
And didn't it call you James and then it called you Joseph?
Well, I just started a new conversation. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So publish it first and let's know.
Publish. Next.
No structure.
No
code.
structure. Publish. And it is on. Let me just make sure. Oh, maybe I changed. Let me just go back to the tool. I need to see. Yes, this is the problem. I had changed the URL.
Of course, it's a human error. Of course, don't blame the AI.
Always a human error. Okay, let's go back to OpenAI then. Let's see if this works.
I blame David. Yes.
It's definitely David's fault.
Hey, this is Professor from Synaptic Labs. How are you doing today?
Good. This is a test. Can you find and schedule some time with me to Joseph? You can just use my email, joseph@synapticlabs.ai. Find some time for 10 a.m. tomorrow and schedule it on the calendar. Okay, that time.
All set. You're booked with Joe for tomorrow at 10 a.m., 10 to 10:30 a.m. ET. A calendar invite has been sent to Joseph at snapdraglabs.ai. If you need to adjust anything, just let me know.
Snapdragon Labs. Okay, let's stop.
Hey,
this,
I just want to make sure I heard you right.
and call. Okay, let's see. What did it do? Yeah, I hope this person doesn't exist.
Check your calendar, Joseph.
Well, yeah, I want to see.
It actually scheduled.
Oh, yeah. So it got. Well, it did today. It looks like, right?
It's Snapdragon Labs AI. No, it's tomorrow for me. Oh.
Okay, cool.
Tomorrow
let me actually share my screen correctly now.
There's no actual like Zoom or Google Meet, but it is a kid event.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe that would be the next thing is like, I don't even know how we would add the Google Meet in there. Again, I thought there was a way to do it in here. Like there definitely is.
There is. Yeah, there should be.
Do you remember what field it is? Oh, conference data, I bet.
Yes. Add conference.
Add conference.
Google
Meet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's save and see if we can do this. You guys aren't going to be able to hear it this time. I don't feel like resharing so that you guys can hear it, but you'll be able to see it. Can you test booking a call with Joseph at synapticlabs.ai for tomorrow at 11 a.m. for 30 minutes? And can you make it have a Google Meet?
Mm-hmm. Let me check.
It's gonna read it out to me.
Yeah, it has a Google Meet. Yeah.
Heyo, that worked.
Nice.
Okay. So let's just finish up. I just want to test one more thing before we kind of wrap up here. Is we created all these now little scripts that do specific things. So let's actually test these out now. Let's see if they actually work.
I see both of them in your calendar too.
Nice. I'm meeting with myself.
With Snapdrag.
Mr. Snapdrag. What was it? Snapdrag.ai. I wonder if it exists. Nope. Okay, new business, guys. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but
Snap some dragons.
well, Snapdragon is well, it's not. I don't think it's a chip company. It's a chip from a chip company.
Yeah, it is for China, I think.
Yeah. And these look like they're working.
Yeah.
Can we just say again how, like, I don't know, I'm very impressed with Vappy's like free tier right now. Like they've got me hooked. And obviously if you're trying to do this in production, like you're gonna have to pay. I'm sure it's maybe kind of costly, but it's nice that it's so easy to just experiment with. I wonder how much money they're losing every day.
I like the latency of the agents. You know, like it's really fast. And even this like gloomy guy that you talk to, like he's like tone and voice, like it kind of felt real, you know, like he's like just a guy.
Well, it's got all the like ums and and stuff.
Yeah, like stuff. He says stuff. You know, like what AI says stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he sponsor this? No. It's just like some thing that
we've just heard really good things about Vappy, so we're like, oh, we'll start there.
Maybe they sponsor us. You can reach out to them.
Yeah, does anyone know Vappy people?
To this?
It's okay, everything seems to be working. There's some stuff that we don't actually have data on. Like there is no knowledge bases and whatnot. Interesting, no sessions. Oh, because we were just testing, so it's not saving anything. But there you go. Let's push this again. This is all open source, so you guys can come to the repo here, and obviously this is Claude Code specific, so it'll be a little bit harder to use if you're not using Claude Code. But honestly, like whatever model you're using, just tell it to create its skills folder, and it'll just move those files we created into a skills folder. Go grab your API key, and you should be able to use this.
Yeah. So just to reiterate and recap what we did today before we close out. So like you were here to see with us the ugly side of all of this, like not the ugly side, but the boring side. I think, like, because
The real side.
yeah, the idea when we actually started all this was like, hey, like let's just like show the people that are watching, or if they're watching, what it is actually to do this, because like it is just a iterating process of back and forth with AI to get to the point of something actually working. So like idea is to show, hey, you can do this all yourself as well. So it is like this, it fails. You ask it why it fails. You provide documentation, you ask it to research. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it works. Then your dopamine hits and you're like, hey, this works. And then it goes again and again. So like it's always like that, especially for non-technical people like Joe and I are. Like we are technical now, but I would not say like we are software engineers.
If you were to sit either of us down and say, can you write any of the code that just generated, we would be like, hell no.
Yeah, but we are getting better and like understanding it and all of that. So this is just like the real side of using AI. It is just getting you in your fingers, getting experience of what works, what doesn't work. Like as the more you use it, the more you're going to realize what is the best approach and what's the best way to talk to AI to get the output that you want. So yeah, thank you for watching. Anything wants to add, Lori, Joe?
I just want to say that I actually like watching how you build, and especially how you troubleshoot, right? Because no build ever goes smoothly. And so it's great to see where you guys look and what you tackle first when things aren't going well.
Yes, and they never start off by going well. I can promise you that.
and so what we did before like this is like you have to go. I was manually going to for example, I know what I'm building a project. I'm going to use like 4 or 5 services in there. I would manually go and download or scrape the documentation, then add it to a folder, then this. So now it's kind of a bit easier with like Cloud Code going and doing all this stuff for you. But preparation is always important for all this. Yeah. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Friday probably with the part 3 where we are gonna do what we're gonna do next time, Joe.
I don't know, whatever we want to do. We probably want to start working on the prompt a little bit to actually get this thing production ready. Yes. So it works the way that we want it to do. And then kind of mess around with some other stuff.
Are we actually like, I think the final thing of this like project that we're doing right now would be to let it wild for a week. Like give it like a cold days, people, and then like after a week just to see like did we actually get some results. So like maybe maybe we can do that as well.
Yeah, we can find like a list of like, I don't know, 100 people or something like that and get their phone numbers.
Or like get David's phone and just call David 100 times.
Call David every single like 50 times a day, just being like, hey, what are you doing right now?
Have you met Joe?
Why don't you book a meeting with him? Oh, you've already booked a meeting? Why don't you book another meeting?
Please meet Joe. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Friday.